Hello, beautiful beings. Love and laughter. Tanya Rainbow Horse here. Thank you so much for showing up to receive the message. This theme is going to help people who want to really pull their energy back out of fear. They want to take their energy back. They've experienced a lot of it, and they're tired of having it have its grasp and hold onto them. Now, I'm going to share my intimate experience dance with fear, and we're going to shed so much light on it, we're going to diminish its energy because we're going to take our power back out of it. So fear is a liar. When I've experienced my deepest, darkest fears, it feels like my world is coming to an end. It feels like if I do the thing or have the thought or something, whatever it is around, that thing is the ultimate truth, and life as I know it is going to end and cease to exist. It can feel so real and so it feels like a death in a way, because it feels like it's so strong and so true that there's no other option. When it's really got a grip on there, it wants to own you. And it's our job to practice to take our power back from that fear and not give it that full attention. There have been times when I've been so into it, I literally thought that was it. And for a long time, I didn't understand what was happening to me, because I'd do some journaling or I'd do some meditation, I'd shift some energy, and this fear around a certain thing would come up and it would hold on to me, grip me, death grip on me. But really what that was telling me is I've invested that much energy into that fear that it's perpetuated outward really big. And so now that energy is holding me firmly in there. And it didn't take till I started peeling back layers and removing layers of that fear off of that fear to where I could start to see when it came up and to acknowledge, oh, that's all I'm experiencing here. It's just fear, and it's a liar, but it's here for me to show me the dark sides of where I'm not bringing that love, or where I'm about to grow and I'm scared to see where it's going to go. Scared of the unknown. I'm not familiar with this, so I'm not quite sure about it. But it can be to the point where it's crippling. And when you are in a spot where your fear grips you so strongly, where you feel like you literally might diminish in its presence, in its existence, in its unfolding, I invite you to sit with it and ask it some questions. Be like, fear, what are you trying to tell me? What is your purpose? I acknowledge you, and you're here for a reason, and I want to know why. Why am I investing in you so much? What do I have to believe? What am I believing to make you so intense? And say to yourself, I take my power back from this fear. I take my power back. This fear that's controlling me is a liar. I've allowed my energy to perpetuate and build and perpetuate and build, and it's gotten monstrous. It's gotten controlling. It's gotten so big in its body that it wants to steer me, lead me. But I know that's false. And I know it's there for me to take that power back and to use that power somewhere else in love, somewhere else in creativity, somewhere else to overcome myself, somewhere else to come back to myself, somewhere else to sink into my intuition. Somewhere else to root myself more into love, into my higher self. This fear is here to teach me. And it is not my ultimate truth. And I get familiar with it for when it comes by. So when it comes by and it's knocking on my door, I can take a level of energy back from it. It might have to spiral down a few times before I can really have a grip of that energy and to return it into a different belief, different full-on power. It might take me a few rounds to diminish it. Or maybe I never will diminish it. Maybe I have to take the action anyways. It's a big one. But if I can talk to myself through it and tell myself, this is not my ultimate truth, this is fear, its job is to hold on to me, shake me up, show me that there's a side of this that I can grow from, that I can learn from. I take my power back from fear. I take my power back from fear. Fear only has power and control over me if I allow it. And as soon as I become aware of it, I take that allowance back. I take that power back. I allow myself to take strips of that energy back and create something different. Now, whatever the fear is about, I also open you up to taking a look at what's on the other side. What's its complete opposite? If you're scared to take a leap on a situation, or you've got a fear about a person or a something or a somebody, what would be its opposite? Because we can take a look at its duality and bring back some of our power to it, because if we're looking at the shadow side of it, if we flip it over and look at the light end of it, that's where we can get some perspective, different perspective that we're not seeing when we're swimming around in its density. So next time fear presents itself to you, I invite you to be curious at what it has to offer you. I invite you to unpack it. I invite you to learn from it. Because when we can learn from it and be curious about it, we have already taken our power back there. We've already known that we have the power to perceive how it's happening. And if we can bring some of that back here and off the fear, then we can take a look at it from a different perspective, a different layer. And we don't need to hate it. Man, I used to hate it, fear it, like push against it. But when I started playing with it, being curious with it, unpacking it, that fear of the fear diminished. And I got to see it as a learning tool. I got to see it as something that helps me. I got to see it as the yin yang. There is some light in this fear. Where is it? What is it? So next time you find yourself face to face with the beast, tell it has no power over you. Take your power back and be curious to what it has to say. Thank you so much for showing up to receive the message. Love and laughter. Until the next video.